Hey everyone, this is Jenny and welcome back to my channel. So today guys, I'll be comparing two of my favorite lip tints this year, and this is the Romance Zero Velvet Tint and this is the Peri Peri Ink Matte Blur. So these two have been very popular this year and I must say that these are actually really pretty good. You guys have been hearing me talk about these two products a lot of times and I'm sure that you guys are curious which is actually better. So I decided to put together this video to compare these two lip tints that I absolutely adore for you guys to know which one you should be getting. So if you guys are interested to find out which one is better, just stay tuned. For texture and consistency, I would say that both are kind of similar but different in some ways. So the Zero Velvet Tint tends to apply like a velvety matte texture, whereas the Peri Peri Ink Matte Blur tends to have that whipped, moussey type of consistency. So this will be more of a thicker type of consistency and texture once you apply it, just because it's whipped and moussey compared to the Zero Velvet Tint. So if we're talking about consistency, I would say that I would go for the Romande just because it's easier for me to blend and apply it because of its velvety texture. For the finish, although both have different consistency, they still give off that nice matte finish that really completes your makeup look. So for this category, I would say that they are pretty much equal and don't have much of a difference. In terms of the feeling on the lips, both are very lightweight and doesn't feel like you have that layer on top of your lips. Although I would say that Romande Zero Velvet Tint tends to feel more like soft and feathery, whereas the Ink Matte Blur tends to feel more of a moussey but not too thick, if I must say. So it's kind of difficult for me to really pick, but I would really go for the Romande Zero Velvet Tint just because it feels more feathery and I do like those soft and feathery look for a matte finish. In terms of the application, both tends to apply really evenly, although I must say that the Romande Zero Velvet Tint tends to really glide on smoothly just because it has that soft and feathery, velvety consistency, and it's easier for you to blur it out to create that gradient lip look. Whereas the Ink Matte Blur tends to apply quite thickly, although it's still easily blendable, you can still create that nice gradient lip look. But once you have that thick layer on top, it might be a bit difficult to control the amount, so you might have to wipe off a little bit. So in that sense, I would still go for the Romance Zero Velvet Tint just because it really gives off that nice gradient and blurred look on my lips. For transfer proof, I wouldn't say that these two are doing a good job for that. They actually transfer, so as soon as you apply it, it will transfer on your tissue. So you have to be careful once it's applied. You might have to wipe it or blurt it off a bit to kind of dry off that top layer. But after it has dried off, I wouldn't say that it still transfers, but you would still have that little bit of transfer over there. So they're not really doing a good job. So I would say that they're actually quite even in that sense. If we're talking about fading, longevity, and staining, I wouldn't say that they're doing a pretty good job just because both kind of just fades once you start eating and drinking. They're not really the type of lip tint that you should be going for if you're looking for like heavy staining. But I would say that once I eat and drink, I would say that this holds up pretty stronger compared to this. This actually fades really quickly, whereas with this one, it kind of leaves a little bit of pigment that kind of just have that color on my lips despite the fact that I've already eaten and have been wiping my lips.
It's very oily, but it seems like the lipstick is holding up pretty well. There's a little bit of fading, but still pretty good so far.
So I'm now done eating that piece of chicken. It's very oily, so I was wiping some of those excess oil on my lips, and after I've wiped it off, you can tell that there's a little bit of fading definitely, but there's a bit more fading with the Ink Matte Blur compared to the Zero Velvet Tint, although more or less it's actually pretty much similar type of fading, although you can tell that there's like a tiny bit of pigment still over here compared to here. Overall, I would still say that it's pretty similar, not that far off from each other. So yeah. So this one is kind of good in that sense. For fragrance, if you guys are into that, I would say that this has a better fragrance than this one. One thing that I didn't like about this is that it has that vanilla type of smell, and I don't really like that kind of smell really. But this one, I couldn't really pinpoint the smell, but it smells good. It smells like a perfume, citrusy type of smell. So I really love the smell of this. So it really feels and very much enjoyable once you're actually applying this product. So if we're talking about this lip tint feeling a bit dry, I wouldn't really say that it's as drying as, you know, those typical liquid lipstick. But with this too, although it's matte finish, it just feels comfortable and you can actually move your lips and it doesn't crack, even though it's been there for like a few hours. So I just don't know whether if you guys have dry lips, whether this will feel uncomfortable. But I guess one thing that you guys should probably take note is maybe exfoliate your lips, or maybe just put a bit of lip tint, or sorry, not lip tint, lip balm before applying it if you guys have dry lips. In terms of removing the lip tint on your lips, I think both are pretty much similar. It's not really difficult to remove them. You just use any oil base or any cleansing water. It will easily be removed and it's not as difficult and you won't be tugging your lips. So it's not really as difficult as, you know, those usual very staining lip tints. Thank you guys for watching this video and I hope that you find it helpful. And if you do, hit the like and hit subscribe. And guys, if you have any questions for me, I'll try my very best to answer all of your questions down in the comment section below. So if you are interested to purchase any of these products, I'll put a link down below as well. And I'll put some of my coupon codes for you guys to get an extra discount. And I will definitely speak to you guys in the next one. Bye!